Okay, hello. If you are new here to my channel, my name is Aphrodite. I am a medium, I channel, I do tarot readings, I do all of that fun stuff. Right now, though, I have been doing a lot of video series on healing yourself, holding yourself accountable, your higher self, doing a lot of the inner work. So, a lot of my content has been very different from like my pick a card readings or my astral projection readings or my astral projection videos or anything like that. So, first, I'm just kind of cleansing the space. This is not Palo Santos, this is something else. I cannot remember the name of it, but I love it because it kind of reminds me of campfire wood and it just smells so good. So first, I'm just going to cleanse my space. Hi, if you are new here, this is a safe space for all of us to kind of get together, talk about our healing journeys, talk about our growth journeys, the things that we would like to change, holding ourselves accountable, holding others accountable, holding just a safe space for us to kind of heal and laugh and grow together in all of the best ways possible, right? So today's video is going to be a little different. I'm using one of my favorite decks, my Energy Oracle. This is just because if you felt drawn to this video, you probably need a little pick-me-up, probably need a little encouragement from spirit before I even get into today's topic of just melting back into your softness, especially as the feminine archetype, the divine feminine, just moving back into that. So we're gonna see what message source has for any feminine, any divine feminine. You don't have to be a female to be a divine feminine, but any female, any divine feminine, sorry, who is really trying to move back into that energy. The first thing that I'm hearing, obviously, before I even get the card, is you're not by yourself. And I think that's very important because one of the big things on a journey into moving back into your softness is feeling like you're safe and like you have a good support system. And obviously, in the physical, it's hard to feel like you have a great support system sometimes because you wouldn't really be in that space of survival mode or fight or flight mode if you had as great of a support system as you needed, right? But spirit is kind of relaying that you're not by yourself. You're definitely not by yourself, even though it might feel like it right now. Definitely not alone. But the card that comes out is Woman Holding a Heart, which is also a really nice card. This could represent you or someone around you who is very loving, very nurturing, very giving, very open. This is also a reminder that you're trying to move into these soft spaces. You're trying to be in the mode of receiving. So please don't be in the space of giving too much. Right now you need to be in the mode of receiving. I know that's hard for a lot of us. We get into survival mode, and when we're in survival mode, we don't want to see others in the same positions as us. So oftentimes we'll be given resources or help or any type of anything and immediately pay it forward to others, even though we don't really have it to give. We can be this woman holding a heart, holding a safe space for everyone but ourselves. We need to hold ourselves accountable, hold space for ourselves, give to ourselves right now. We are in no position to be giving to anyone else. Please understand, this is what Source is trying to tell you. You're not in a position to give to anyone, especially if you're trying to manifest better circumstances for yourself, manifest better energy, higher frequencies, mellowed out situations where you do receive more and you are in higher positions where your energy can relax and your spirit can relax and you're more balanced on the inside, right? You can't get to those positions, and spirit, source, God energy, God consciousness, whichever whatever you prefer to call it, whatever you prefer to call what you align with, can't gift you these things if you're just going to give them away to someone else. And I've been having to learn this the hard way. And a lot of that is saying no. And the way that you do that is by holding more space for yourself. A lot of women, and I say this as a woman myself, even though I'm well understanding that a lot of divine feminines might not be women, you might be men. Hi, hello, I acknowledge you. You might be they, thems. I acknowledge you. I'm just giving you the message of how Source is giving it to me. I'm relaying it, so please allow it to fit where it fits for you. But a lot of women within my community, specifically Black women, women of color, we had very hard upbringings. We had very tough upbringings, oftentimes even competitive upbringings, where we may have felt pitted against our siblings. Well, your sister can do this, or your brother can do this, or this or that. You're not living up to the expectation. And then moving into adulthood, dating was kind of the same way, probably very competitive. You didn't feel good enough because, well, your parents didn't make you feel good enough. It was a very competitive environment. You never had time to really feel fully appreciated and loved just for existing, which you should have. I should have. We should have. That's okay. For anyone who's going through that now, look, I am 28. I will be 29 next year, going through my Saturn return, learning all of these harsh cycles. I'm also a 12th houser, okay? And I'm a Pisces, very emotional, very intuitive, very spiritual, but because of my upbringing, very shameful. Feeling a lot of shame around my intuitive gifts, around my mediumship, hiding who I am from people, having to learn to accept who I am and then show that to the world and be grateful for me just existing, which is hard to do when you feel like you didn't receive that growing up. You are not by yourself. A lot of us have had to go through this. A lot of us, even now as adults, are learning what it means to breathe and come out of fight or flight mode. So if I can give these talks, these pep talks, these advice, these sort of things to remind you that you're not by yourself and remind you that everything is just kind of one step at a time, then I will do that. But you're definitely not by yourself. It definitely took me all the way up until 28 to understand what was going on. So now that I'm hip to it, I'm going to try and explain this, because I feel like a lot of women can move into these, my soft girl era, I'm very comfortable, and they don't really talk about what that means or how it was to get there. My man pulled me up out of, okay. And that's great when you have a great support system. I have a great support system. I have a very loving partner. But at the end, it's up to you to do the work internally and be comfortable with yourself. You can my man someone to death, okay? You can my man someone all across the board, but at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what your partner is doing for you if you're not applying anything and doing anything for yourself. It's so important to figure out safe spaces of comfortability for yourself where you can really just, and drop all of that and drop survival mode. When you, as someone who is supposed to be a divine feminine, are in survival mode, you are pushing everything you need directly out of your life, because you don't know how to relax. You don't know how to breathe and let someone help you. And when someone does help you, you are at risk of taking all of that help and giving it to someone else, because you know what it's like to be there. You know what it's like to suffer through that pain, through that agony. But a lot of us who would do it for someone else would do it for those people who wouldn't dare do it for us. And it's friends and it's family and it's the people that we hold closest to us. And let's be realistic, some of those people that we hold closest to us remind us of the people who caused a lot of this trauma in the first place. Something that I've noticed is that if I'm a little too comfortable around someone, I probably shouldn't be hanging around them, because that feeling of comfortability, of like settling in a little too easily, not on a spiritual sense, but just on a physical sense, like my body is just too comfortable, probably means that at some point they're going to cause me pain or to relive some type of trauma that I experienced in my childhood, because I'm too comfortable. My body is way too comfortable. And what I've noticed is on my healing journey, it was all about being uncomfortable and experiencing love from a different perspective that I had never experienced it before. And it made me so extremely uncomfortable that I actually said, whoa, that's healthy. That's what healthy looks like. That makes me uncomfortable. And that's how I knew that being comfortable around particular people was the red flag. It was, oh shit, I'm comfortable around you. I gotta start adjusting my perspective, because I realized that the people who I was comfortable around were the same people who I would give an arm, leg, and a foot to. And when I would call them for help, they'd be like, "I'm sorry, I can't help you." But then I would check in on them, and you know that saying, "I'm broke to you, I'm not broke to me." That was them. They were broke to me, but not to themselves. But when they were broke to themselves, who did they run to? When they needed mediumship, spiritual guidance, and to be put back on the right path, who did they come to? You know? My ancestors said no more, because it was essentially spitting in their faces. You want all of this good stuff. You want a partner who's going to help you, flourish in life. You guys want to start businesses together. You want to do stuff together. You want to travel. You want to do this. You want to do that. You want to find your tribe. You want to do this. You want to fine. They got to go. All those people got to go, and you have to sit and you have to look in the mirror and you have to heal and you have to be uncomfortable, because the only way out is through. Because we cannot bless you with things if you're just gonna give them to someone else. And that is the truth of attempting to enter into being soft, into being more feminine, into being more the person you feel you were supposed to be. It's a harsh reality. It's a tough reality. Healing is not for the weak. It's not for the weak. The things I uncovered during my healing sessions have re-traumatized me. But let me tell you, no longer am I the funny girl who laughs off my trauma. That didn't happen. I'm not the funny girl in my group of friends who laughs off my trauma and pretends it didn't happen anymore. Yeah, no, oh, that happened. Let me meditate. Go back to the person I was when that happened. Hug myself, forgive myself, talk to myself, hear what message I have for myself at that particular age, and rock with that. Because something that I've noticed, and I guess you can kind of either just consider this to be, luck through meditation or a form of time travel. But I mean, it really depends on you. When you travel through those sequences, right, and you get to your childhood self, your higher self, or your future self, your teenage self, and you sit and you meditate and you're in that energy and you talk to them, the messages they have for you, the things you forget and uncover, and you could say, oh, it's your subconscious, really just reminding you of X, Y, and Z, and that's fine. I acknowledge that as a fair perspective, but talking to 4-year-old me had me in tears, because she was telling me that the person that I'm with now is someone I can trust and grow with and grow old with. And I didn't think I would ever have that. And I didn't think tiny me would feel that. But to have that confirmation from her, and then again from teenage me, and then to really just hear the different stories of, why we did things the way we did things and why we thought things the way we thought things. And, I had never really thought about things that way when they were happening. And so to hear them from that perspective was wild. Seeing teenage me crying and just seeing her go, I just wanted them to like me. I just wanted them to be my friend. I just wanted them to like me. And for me to go, wow, did Dad really not love us enough? And she goes, we didn't have a relationship with him. I guess he liked us, but I don't know. And for me to really sit there and go, wow, that's what was in my heart and in my mind. But I was so gone that I couldn't even acknowledge that, And I was in therapy during that time. So it's crazy that never really was anything that came up. But I say this to say there's so many different ways to go about healing. There's so many different formulas. You just have to find what's right for you. Meditating definitely works better for me just because I'm a medium myself. So being able to communicate with these different versions of myself is a beautiful spiritual process for me. Spirituality saved my life, being comfortable with my spiritual side and having a beautiful group of people around me right now who I can share that essence and that experience with, and having them say, either I don't get it, but I respect it and I respect that it makes you happy, or I get it, let's do it together, is one of the greatest things that I could have ever asked for. If you are in this process of returning back to softness and wanting more for yourself, that's a beautiful first step. Healing is not for the weak. It's a trying process, but I promise you it is absolutely worth it. In the beginning, it might not feel like it is, just because it can be so painful. It can be so painful that it has you pumping the brakes. But it's so worth it. It's if you felt called to this video at all, if you felt drawn to this video at all, let me tell you, it's worth it. You can go to some of my earlier videos and just see the difference, the light in my eyes, the light around me, the energy around me, how I have flourished, how I've changed, how I've grown, how I show up for myself more, and how in turn, as a healer, as a spiritual provider, I show up for you all more. Also, I'm wearing my Moldavite today, but I love this for me, and I love this for us, because the more we show up for ourselves and for each other, the more we can do for the community. Yeah, but I will say, please remember, if you are this woman holding a heart in your hands, if you are this soft woman, this loving woman who gives to everyone else but herself, give back to yourself, please. You need to. You need to, because the blessings and the gifts on the other side that come with being yourself, aside from your body finally relaxing and you not feeling sick anymore, tired anymore, sluggish, headaches, migraines, being irritable, not trusting the people around you, hyper anxiety, being overly vigilant, those types of things, not being able to have a full-blown conversation without flipping out at some point. Those things completely calm down. When I tell you they calm down, your immune system changes, your body changes, the way that you align internally. Please trust me, it's so worth it. So please keep healing. If you are starting your journey, I commend you for starting. If you're under 18 and you want to start, remember it starts with yourself. I understand that living at home with your parents, sometimes you don't have the best support system. I'm sorry that you feel you don't have the best support system. Hi. My social media is in the description box below. I am more than happy to be your support system. I am more than happy to talk. I am more than happy to, just be someone to listen, because sometimes you need a spiritual auntie or spiritual cousin who will just listen, to how your day was, someone who's not gonna make you feel like you need to do something or jump through hoops to feel accepted. We all need that. So, hi, welcome to the family. We do that here. We are one with each other and we are here for each other. And I would hope that anyone who is subscribed to me or follows me anywhere would do that for, anyone else who's going through the exact same thing as them. We all need a home. We all need someone we can consider family, and we all need something. So, but yeah, that's what I've got for you. Continue your healing journey, start your healing journey, whatever you feel is best for you, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.